Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 Speedbuild. I hope you had a great week. Today we're in the world of Windenburg, building on this 40 by 30 lot, and we are building a modern bungalow, which I aptly named Birch Heights Bungalow. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath home, so it's kind of tiny, but packs all of the things your Sims will need, including a backyard pool. There's a fire pit, swing set, and there's also like what was maybe a garage space or maybe like a modern extension. That is actually a place where your Sims can host pottery lessons and have little like classes to make some extra simoleons. So you could turn this into a residential business, like home business kind of thing if you wanted to, because there's a separate entrance for that. But before we go any further, I do want to quickly mention that The Sims did announce the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. So if you are pre-ordering that, feel free to use my creator code at checkout when you do pre-order via thesims.com or the EA app. That supports me as a creator, and I do appreciate it so much if you do, but no pressure if you don't. But thank you so much in advance if you do decide to pre-order the pack and use my code. So yeah, let's talk about the pack real quick. So as expected, on June 12th, The Sims dropped the like trailer first look kind of thing on Enchanted by Nature. And yeah, as you expected, fairies. Yep. I'm not one to play with occults, so it didn't really like bother me, but I was more interested in like the world and the build mode and all the new items that we're getting and stuff. But fairies are definitely making a comeback to The Sims 4. This is the first time we've had them. They're basically going to go along with all the other occults. It kind of seems like it's something that you maybe have to earn though from the trailer. I don't know. I kind of like, you kind of follow like a little story of a Sim, and it kind of feels like she was turned into a fairy, but only after she like already did a whole bunch of like fairy related things. I don't know if that's like how it's going to be or how that'll exactly work, but it is interesting nonetheless. The new world is actually kind of small, at least from the small glimpse we got to see. Though from my reading, apparently there's 3 neighborhoods, so maybe that was only the one neighborhood that we saw. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because otherwise it's like, oh my gosh, it's tiny. Not many lots to build on. Yeah. So if you pre-order now until August 21st, which is after the release, but you'll get the Fairy Garden digital content with this, which is like 3 extra items, which is more of a disguised fairy house, which is kind of like in a tree. You get a lantern, and there was something else. So yeah, if you are picking up the pack between now and its release, and even after the release, you'll get the digital content, which it's nice to have those items, even though it's kind of like, why can't they just be there? You know what I mean? Like, why the pressure to pre-order or even just pick up the pack before that date? You know what I mean? Otherwise, if you get it afterwards, you're not going to get those items. So it's kind of like, I don't know. But yeah. Also, the gameplay trailer is on June 26th, so I think we'll get to see more of that and how the fairy dynamic works, how the new apothecary skill, I believe I'm saying that right, works, and also the ailments that the apothecary skill will cure. And hopefully we'll get to see more of the world and more of the build by, but just, it looks like they're adding a new, I don't want to say roof shape, but more of like a roof texture, which is green, which I don't believe we have anything like that, at least not in the sense of being able to be applied to actual roof pieces. We do have like green floor tiles and stuff that you could use for a flat green roof, but we've not had a roof swatch, kind of like, you know, like the metal or like the shingles or something. Like, we haven't had that in like a green. So that will allow us to hopefully create houses that kind of look more whimsical, and you can use roof pieces to kind of curve them and stuff to make them look like they're kind of built into the ground maybe. So that'll be really fun. I am looking forward to that. So yeah, but the items, and just from what I gathered just from that small little preview, do look kind of nice. I don't know that you'd use everything like on an everyday basis, but then again, I really don't know yet. It's too soon to say. So back to the speed build. Oh, by the way, I should mention before we progress, if you missed the trailer drop, I will link that in the video description below, as well as the whole write-up that kind of goes over like all of the new features and show some screenshots and stuff on thesims.com. So yeah, I'll plop that stuff below just in case. But anyway, back to the builds. So Yes, this house has a pool out back, which we are doing now. There's an elevated bit in the center, which will be for lounging chairs. And then inside here, you'll see like in the living space, I made a custom fireplace using these sleek bathroom kit half wall stone things, which is pretty neat. I do change out that fireplace style though for something a bit more modern and more sleek. And we are now working on the kitchen, kind of figuring out that layout and kind of how that's going to work. But it's a very actually big kitchen, but it's very pretty. I like this colorway of the cabinetry, and I like just how it looks with the white, but then also the darker wood tones. And I do a darker upper here to kind of conceal the range hood a bit, just to kind of make it blend in more. We're doing some little garden planter area things, which we will fill in later. I was trying to figure out this area and whether I wanted to do like a grotto, like waterfall fountain thing here, but we don't do that. And I get rid of that platform that I just built because I was like, oh, this looks strange. It's just this giant slab of platform. I grabbed these like weird shaped bushes out of the debug, and then I actually sized them up using the tool mod, so that way they're just slightly larger. And they look kind of nice around the house. We do continue them around the front, which I will do later, but I'm just kind of all over the place. I kind of did a little bit of furnishing, figuring out the floor plan, kind of did a little bit of the outside, went back in, finished the furnishing, and then came back out and finished the outside and all the landscaping and stuff. So it was a bit of a mishmash as far as how I completed this house. But all in all, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's absolutely a beautiful house, great to play in, and just it seems like a very nice little location in Windenburg. It's up on the hill, like in the more countryside area, but there's a lot of great views around. There's like water and stuff with ducks, and there's a lot of different houses around too. So it's, even though you're very kind of like in the rural countryside part, there's still like neighbors and stuff. And Sims walk by constantly. Like in the screenshots, you see like Bob Pancakes was walking by, and then Eliza was roaming around too. Like, so everybody just kind of walks around from all over the place. So that little room that I just finished putting windows in, that becomes the pottery classroom. This little narrow hallway off the kitchen becomes a small laundry. And it's a place that I tucked the microwave because I didn't want the microwave on the countertop. I would love to use one of the new microwaves that we got with the recent kitchen kit, but you have to kind of repair those. So yeah, I didn't have the time or patience to do that while building, but maybe I should like do that and then save them on a little room or something and put them in my library. That way I can just grab like fixed ones out. So that way they can be used. Even the fridge is kind of nice, but yeah, here's where we swap out the fireplace. I just had to put the wall back temporarily so that the fireplace could attach properly. But I think that one looks much better, and that is a get-together fireplace. And I was going back and forth on the sofa color there, but I ended up going with the brown color instead. Doing some more overhead lighting, and then I change out the accent wall in the kitchen slash island area with the same stone that's used on the exterior, because I thought that was really pretty. I'm not sure where that came from or what pack or kit that's from, but it's a really nice looking stone. It's just, I don't even know if it's stone. It might even be like a plastery stone. I'm not really certain, but it's a really pretty color. I was trying to figure out here if I could like make the only bathroom in the house up here a bit more like, I don't know, get rid of that like jut in part where the door is and kind of make it just more square. But in the end, the staircase, there just really wasn't a way to do it because of the staircase, like with the door being on a platform there and you have to step down and then step up for stairs. It was just too much. So I thought, let's just leave it as it was. It's fine. It'll be fine. And actually the bathroom comes out beautiful in the end. We used a sleek bathroom kit for that. Just doing the dining room over here. And now we're back to cluttering up the kitchen and grabbing a bunch of different stuff. I find a little like mat to put out, and I was testing these like stone mats to say, oh, do I want to use those like outside for something? But no, they look too fake compared to like the like concrete tile that I'd already put down. So it's like, yeah, no, we're not going to use those. But we are using the new kitchen clutter kit here. I forget what it might just be kitchen clutter kit. I don't know. That's not what it's called. I don't know. I don't remember the name. I'm so sorry. There's just so many packs and kits and stuff now at this point that I'm just using, whatever. But speaking of this build, if you did want to grab it on the Sims 4 gallery, here is the gallery listing. So yeah, there is 22 packs and kits that I use. The gallery will tell you what you need. It's 40 by 30 and 77,360 simoleons. So it's not too expensive. And I built it on Windenburg. Or in Windenburg, not on Windenburg, but on a 40 by 30 lot. So yeah, now we're doing the laundry room here. And again, this is just kind of like a small, narrow hallway, but there is also the exterior door there. So that kind of makes it easier if you wanted to turn this into like a residential home business where you can kind of make those two rooms off the end of the house accessible to everyone. And you don't have to make the rest of the house accessible to everyone. And then you could host your pottery classes in there and, the Sims don't have to roam the rest of your house. So that's kind of nice in that way. Doing some more lighting here. We do lower these a little bit because they always clip through the ceiling when you go up to like the highest that they can go. And now we're doing some exterior lighting, which I used, I want to say, growing together exterior lights just because they're nice and modern. And then I used some these like Love Struck spotlights that kind of cast the light up. I really like that. That was one of the packs I used, especially for a lot of the different like flowers that you'll see on the interior that I kind of placed around, like decorative. But yeah, I use Love Struck for those because there's some nice little bouquets and arrangements. Now we're into the only bath in the house. There is not a powder room downstairs. I guess I probably should have added one, considering you're gonna have like pottery classes here, or you could, but you don't have to. But yeah, because Sims do tend to need the bathroom more than anything else. So that was an oversight on my part, but I guess it's not a big deal. You could probably figure out a way to add another downstairs bath if you really wanted to. Maybe something with like the laundry room space or something, kind of shift around some doors or something. I don't know, but maybe you don't even need it. Maybe Sims will just leave when they need to go or something. I don't know, but this is the only bath. I went with black in here. This was based on an inspiration photo that I was looking at of a bungalow, and the bathroom was black. It was quite a bit larger, and they had bigger windows, but due to the roofing and everything, having to connect to that top bit of roof and just the sizing of the Sims and the scale, I couldn't have larger windows for like where the tub was and stuff. I made custom side tables using the floating shelves from the Sleek Bathroom Kit, and then some of the Dream Home Decorator like module, not module, what's the word I'm looking for? Modular. There we go. The modular closets and tables and stuff. So that actually looks kind of cool. It doesn't really do anything like functionally wise, but it does look pretty neat. So, and then we do a small little dressing area over here, and we do have a dresser as well. And then I do put in a lounger chair in here too, just for something to kind of fill up the space. It's probably not needed, but it just looks nice, and it is kind of nice. This is a really nice primary bedroom. The secondary one is a bit more like a teenager. It's kind of got like a teal vibe going on, but they're also a gamer. So I used the Comfy Gamer kit in there to create like a really cool gaming space. Considering there's this huge wall of windows, I thought it was perfect to have the computer here. I guess you probably wouldn't want all that light in your face if you were actually like streaming or something. But still, it's very nice room considering, and I mean, it's not as big as the primary, but still. It fits pretty much everything, including a double bed, which I slotted against the wall, so Sims will scoot across if they want to get to the other side. And then we put a little like a little poofy chair thing there, and then we're cluttering up the bookshelf here with some books and the digital camera and some little printouts. And then I was thinking about using this display board, but we shift around those items that are kind of displayed there and stack them instead and get rid of the little pegboard background, just because it looks okay, but I just didn't want to use it in here. I think it looks good without even just having them stacked like that. And there's the bed. I believe that's a Love Struck bed. And then I just use some gaming posters. And then these lights are from Businesses and Hobbies, which they kind of look like a vine or something creeping across. But I made them teal in color. And then this is the landing upstairs, which I added 2 bookshelves, a plant, and a little chair. So, it's not really a major entertaining space. And I was just grabbing some stuff out of the catalog that I found while I was under the Business and Hobbies section. So that way I can decorate the exterior and the backyard. So figuring out what else we need in here, I was kind of looking around. I was like, we need something by the front door. We need something over here in the dining room because it seemed a bit empty. Just needed a little bit more dressing up. We do some downspouts on the exterior, but not many, just 2. And then, we're just trying to figure out what we can do here. I do end up finding a small table to put by the front entrance, which I think is nice. We do the classroom in here. I do pedestals, which your Sims can actually, whatever items are slotted to those, they'll actually be able to sell those. So if you make like a pottery item that is worth a lot of simoleons, they can sell that for simoleons. So this is where we're figuring out the front entrance finally. And I didn't want a table too big because then it would clip the door. So I think this is a good compromise, and it's just kind of like a little drop table. I didn't put anything else on it, but and then we're doing some wall paintings and stuff. And I decided to move that one over here because I thought that would have fit nicer with the kitchen and the stone accent. And then I was looking at curtains, and these curtains stuck through the floor and ceiling above just because of the way the windows are so high here. So even those curtains did too. So I think we go without curtains, or at least I use curtains, but just on the front windows because that part is covered by roof anyway. So it wouldn't matter if they stick through because you wouldn't see it, as compared to like if I put them at the side here, you would see them in the room above. So that's kind of like, nope, don't want to do that. So yeah, now we're doing the exterior finally, and we are almost complete. Just doing some little decorations. I do get rid of that picnic basket in the end because I just didn't want to use it. And then I believe we're using the Riviera Retreat kit with the floaty and then the loungers and just some accessories here. And then I swap out the table with the Riviera Retreat kit. And also that fire pit is from the Riviera Retreat kit too. So I also added the laundry line out here, which is something I don't think I've ever done in a build. But if your Sims want to hang their laundry out. I mean, I thought it was kind of nice because you're right next to like off the lot. There's like some grapevines, or maybe apple trees. I don't know. There's some kind of like growing, like gardening trees that you can kind of see off there. So I thought that was kind of nice because like you could just hang your laundry, and there's not really a house next door or anything, so it's all good. Doing some trees to match in with the surrounding world, and then I swap out the shrubs for these ones instead because they're a little less busier. And then out the front here, we do add a driveway with some fake debug cars because I kind of thought like, oh, we could put the car like up front outside of like the pottery area to kind of make this look like a garage. But then I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, why would the car just be parked there, but with no way to get to the car? You know what I mean? Like, to no way to get in there. So we do add another car as well. We add the convertible sports car kind of thing too, instead of just the van. So yeah, just doing some more landscaping to kind of match in. And I don't know, surrounding this lot is pretty kind of bare. There's a lot of different grasses and trees, but when you get closer to the lot, there's like nothing. So I did want to tie it in as much as possible to kind of make it feel a bit more blended, even though I could only go off the lot just a little tiny bit. I still made it work where I could. So just figuring out the front here. And actually I didn't do any kind of like flowers or flowering bushes or anything. I just went with these bushes, which I think is a bit different, but I kind of like it. It's cleaner, at least for this build. It's kind of nice to just have that simplicity and not, a bunch of flowering gardens, because the flowering gardens will have their time when we play with Enchanted by Nature and, we're building fairy houses and things like that. So yeah, but this is the completed build. This is Birch Heights Bungalow. Again, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. My ID is just TheSimified, and it'll tell you what packs and kits you need. And yeah, go grab it, go have fun, go play in it. It's a very fun house to kind of live in and play in. It's compact, but still has everything your Sims will need. This is the front door, and then we move into the main living space. This is the area by the front door. You can see the step down there. And then this is the really nice custom fireplace. And then we have the dining room over here by the front door. And then this is a like small living space. There is no TV, I just realized. I think what I was planning to do, the pottery thing was supposed to be like a theater, like proper living room, which I guess you could still do if you're not into the pottery and you don't want to have the pottery classes. You can maybe turn that into like more space or like an actual like a snug room kind of where you do have a TV and stuff. But yeah, I just thought the pottery thing was a little bit better. This is the beautiful kitchen. I love that stone and just the open shelves and everything is just so nice with the white and the dark woods. This is the tiny little laundry room. And then we move into the pottery class, which, yeah, again, I think this pottery class area, which I think could also be something else. You could make it pretty much anything, really, if you didn't want that stuff. So yeah, this is the upstairs landing hallway area. And then this is the only bath in the house, which is using the sleek bathroom kit. I love how the lights come through the window there, like onto the objects and stuff. It just looks so pretty and very modern. And then we have the primary bedroom. And again, we have lots of natural light coming in here. I love how the light casts on the floor and everything. It just makes it look so nice. And then we go to the second bedroom, which is the gamer's bedroom. And again, if you didn't want these colors, they're easily changeable to something else. I just kind of picked something that was kind of whatever. It just kind of worked well together. This is going outside to the backyard space where we have the seating area. We have loungers. We have the pool. There's also the fire pit off to the side and a swing set. So it's a great little family home. There's also a barbecue grill kind of tucked there too. But yeah, that is all I had for this build. I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I do thank you for watching. And I'll see you very soon with another one.